Well, if you know me and my seeding projects, you'll know that over the years I've had many problems with washout. The reason for that a lot of times is because this late summer time frame where I live here in Iowa can be very volatile in terms of still having some pretty massive thunderstorms that happen. But it's a great time to plant seed because it comes up quickly, it establishes quickly, so you have that pro and con there of seeding at this time. So this little project that I was working on, I decided not to cover or do anything as far as covering the seed, just because it looked like I was in a window where I might be able to get the germination to happen, not have to do all of that cover, take the risk that 3 or 4 days with enough ryegrass in that mix, I could at least have something germinated and not have to deal with the whole process of covering and all that. However, on day 3, you know what happened. So I've let this grow in now for, I think probably a couple weeks, just to sort of show you what it would look like and how patchy it is and why it needs to be fixed, honestly. I think most of the time, whenever you get a seed washout, you're just not sure at that point what needs to be fixed, and so letting it come in for a little bit and see where the seed went and how much of it is growing in is actually not a bad idea. But if you see it in one big pile, let's say you have a fairly good slope on one part of your yard, then you can probably go ahead and do the fixes a little sooner. But today, I'm going to go over a few different options as to how I might fix this and then what I'm going to do personally. So let's take a look at it. All right, so first area we're going to look at, you can see pretty much zero coverage throughout here, maybe 10%, let's say. So you got these little bits of ryegrass that survived, but this has a good slope to it to where everything pretty much here went to that back corner. So this is going to need a lot of help. Now, even if you go back here, pretty good growth around the sprinkler head. There are some weeds coming in, but even this area back here that I did put some straw on, you can see even that straw washed over into this corner. So some growth, but obviously looking at the plot in general, not going to be acceptable growth or anything that's going to look full in the end. So what are we going to do about it? First thing I'm going to do is get out my trimmer today, knock down any of those weeds that are starting to come in that are already fairly tall, or pull them by hand if some of them are tall enough to do that. It's going to be all right if some weeds come into this. We're going to deal with that later, and as soon as we start mowing consistently, a lot of those things also take care of themselves, but right now I'm not too worried about that part. It's not like it's completely overrun by crabgrass or anything like that. Alright, so then you can probably see that this ground right here is pretty hard now just because of drying out. You gotta find a way now to break this up, which this little tool does a pretty good job of that. You know, just depending on what tools you have or how large of an area, you could use an aerator to just break this soil up, get some cores up there. Something so that the seed is going to have some of that soil to grab onto. If we just lay this down on this hard ground, even if we cover it, it's not going to have great germination just because of how hard this is to start with. So with this tool, it actually goes across some of the grass that has grown in and doesn't take it all out. But I'm not too concerned about that either, just because we're going to be overseeding this whole thing. So if it gets some damage on some of this grass, not a big concern to me. Now, if you're getting to this right after that washout and the soil is still fairly wet, let it dry out enough that you can work it, but you might even be able to use just a regular rake. You don't need any special tools, just something to scratch the surface of that soil, as I said. But because this is so dried out, this is a little bit different situation. If it wasn't so dried out, it'd be quite a bit easier. So even watering this a little bit might help me so that I could break this up easier, but I don't want to get it too muddy before I try to work with it. Your scenario might be different just depending on soil, but those are just some things I wanted to mention with getting this prepped before the seed goes down on an overseed. So I decided to run my core aerator through here because I needed to do that plot in front of this one as well, but that's not something that's completely necessary. Like I said, if you get the soil raked just a little when it still has some dampness in it, you're probably going to be totally fine. And I'll show you an area where I'm just going to do that and I haven't done any aeration. But there is some grass left in here too, so I will show you that that it doesn't destroy everything, but it's going to be much more aggressive. So let's go to the less aggressive way, show you what that looks like. So this is an area where there's quite a few things growing in, and all I need to do with this is, as I said, just break that soil, and we're going to have plenty of room here and plenty of soil that's loose that the seed can grab onto. So I didn't go as aggressive in here because I have quite a bit of growth in here. So if it was just overall thin like this, same type of thing, just kind of scrape it up, even with a rake, kind of scrape the surface, and then we're going to get our seed on and put a little bit of cover on this. So right here I have my ryegrass. So I'm just looking for a light overseed on here. Set this pretty low. Like I said, there's some grass growing in here, so we don't want it overcrowded. So now comes to the top dressing or the covering part of putting something over that seed just to hold it there, hold a little bit of moisture. Now over the years I've experimented with a lot of different things: topsoil, peat moss, compost. Over the years I've tried a lot of those loose materials and just realized that they're going to move around. Even if they don't completely wash out in a storm or a heavy rain, you're going to move around and you're going to have uneven growth again in many cases. Sometimes it completely washes away if you have a heavy storm. Sometimes it just sort of moves out of place. It's just too much to lose all of your hard work to a couple of rainstorms or heavy rain. So what I've started to use is the loose straw for small areas, things that you can't really get the straw blankets into very easily. I have tried different ones of these. I prefer the Easy Straw brand. It has a tackifier in it. So there's actually a material on the straw that once it gets wet, it sticks down better and it holds in place a lot better than just loose straw. Also, a lot of people ask me about weed seed in these straw blankets or the straw products. Most of these will say that they're pretty close to 100% weed free. Any of those straw blankets as well, they're usually going to say that they're pretty much weed free. I have not had any problems with those whatsoever. I think most people have issues when you go get a straw bale out of a field and you start using that as your cover, because there's obviously going to be a lot of different weeds in a hay field compared to these products. So that's the difference there. This is why I prefer these products, because you get it done, you do the work, and things are going to stay in place. If you saw my short from a couple days ago, we had 4.6 inches of rain in 2 days on a project that I had just worked on. I put down the straw blankets on top of some ryegrass, held everything for the most part, I'd say 90% in place, and it was monsoon type rain. I would have lost everything had I just had a loose material on there or no cover. So it's worth it to me. It is work. It isn't always fun to deal with these straw products, but not having to do these projects over and over again is personally worth it to me. So you don't need a whole lot on here. You just want it to be fairly even, so when it does get wet and it sticks down, that you don't have huge piles or missing spots. That's why I prefer the blankets over these, just because they're already sort of predetermined the amount of straw that's in there. You don't have to figure out how much to put on, but they don't work so well in certain areas, having to cut them. So this is good for smaller spots, little fixes that you need to do. So as you can see, there's different ways to accomplish this, but if you do experience a washout, it's not the end of the world. It just means you got to put in a little bit more work to get it fixed. And in the end, you're going to be happy with your results and happy that you put in the work. So thank you so much for watching today, and we'll see you next time.